I had the pleasure, very pleasure, of Charles Melton, Michael Gandolfini, each taking turns buzzing my hair.
Shaving your head for a role. It always reminds me of that powerful scene in Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket, where it feels like the recruits are being stripped of their identity. So, in films where transformation is so crucial, well, what is it like for you to lose something as personal as your hair? Does it change the way you connect with the characters somehow?
I'm Native American, and long hair in Native American culture is very significant. Growing out my hair was a very big part of my life and a very important part of my life. So cutting it for this role was definitely a big sacrifice on my behalf. It doesn't sound like it, but it really is. And I did that process properly. Before we came to set and everyone buzzed my hair, I had my partner cut my hair for me, and what we do in my ceremonies is we burn them. We burn our hair. So I did that before coming onto set, and then after that, I had the pleasure, very pleasure, of Charles Melton, Michael Gandolfini, each taking turns buzzing my hair, which was amazing. But yes, no, even besides the idea of it built our bond very quickly. I mean, that was one of the first few things we did together.
Right.
Was cutting our hair. Yeah.
And just going off of like what the building the bond, Ray did say it wasn't so much stripping the identity from someone, but it was more so a symbolic expression of like we're all starting at ground zero.
Yeah.
And it required a
Right.
certain humility, and like, DeFaro's personal story of just going through that process and that ritual to, do that. It just, it sends a message, just to the commitment that we all had to do a service to Ray's story.